time ago, in a peaceful village filled with hardworking people, lived a girl called Aku. Aku was very greedy and lazy. She hated to work, and since she couldn't get money, she would knock from house to house begging people for food. Everyone in the whole village knew her for her begging character. During the day, when people go to their different workplaces or to the farms or to the rivers for fishing, Aku would stay at home painting her nails. She did not worry about where food would come from, as she was used to begging from the people of the village. Finally, a day came that as Aku went to beg, nobody gave her food. Aku couldn't believe that she's been begging for hours, yet she hadn't seen food to satisfy her hunger. She later went to her house in the evening and decided to sleep and forget about the fact that she was hungry. But she couldn't sleep as her stomach was rumbling with hunger. So late at night, she left the house and started walking when she stumbled across an old woman in the bushy part of the road. When Aku saw this old woman, she knelt down and begged her, "Mama, can you please give me something to eat? I'm very hungry, I haven't eaten all day." The old woman, with pity in her eyes, told Aku, "Follow me." Soon they started walking, and they walked for minutes, and Aku started becoming tired. "Mama, where is your house? Is it really that far? I'm very hungry, oh. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up." The old woman looked at Aku. She didn't say anything, but instead continued walking. Soon, after minutes of walking, they arrived at an old hut near the bushy parts of the road. The old woman, with a kind heart, invited Aku into her hut. When they got in, the old woman told Aku, "My daughter, this is the only food I have in my house. Please choose. Will you go and prepare food so the both of us could eat, or will you just take this plate of food and eat alone?" Aku, without remorse, quickly grabbed the bowl and ate the whole food because she was too lazy to cook. The old woman shook her head in sadness as she knew that Aku would be a lazy and greedy girl. When Aku finished the food, she left the old woman's hut without caring to know what the old woman would eat that night. Aku got to her house, and immediately she went to the bed and lay down, falling asleep. She was so satisfied to even think about the old woman. The following morning, when everyone had gone to their different workplaces, Aku was still asleep. She only woke up when it was evening already. And as usual, when she got up, she began begging all over. Still, no one gave her food. They insulted her for her character, that if she was really hungry, she should stop being lazy and work for her food. At this point, Aku remembered the old woman who had given her food the previous night. She quickly journeyed to the old woman's hut, and she saw it from far. When she got there, the old woman wasn't around, but Aku noticed a pot of food in the house. Aku, without thinking twice, started dishing for herself. She ate the food And even when she was satisfied, she continued eating until she finished everything in the pot. At least, those food will serve me for a very long period of time, since the villagers have decided to stop giving me food, Aku thought to herself. After thinking, she quickly left the old woman's hut and went home. Later that day, the old woman came back and met an empty pot. She was sad, angry and shocked as she asked herself, who could have done this? The old woman hadn't eaten all day, only to come back to meet an empty pot of food. She was sad, but she decided to prepare something else so she could eat. The following day at night, Aku was hungry. She didn't bother asking the villagers since they didn't want to give her in the first place. She just journeyed through the road, headed for the old woman's hut. When she got into the old woman's hut, the old woman again wasn't around. Aku spotted a pot beside the old woman's bed. She opened it and she saw a delicious meal. She started eating and eating and eating. She kept on eating, but soon she realized that what she was eating wasn't food, but instead live maggots. The old woman had cast a spell on the food so that the thief would think he or she was eating a delicious meal, not knowing they were eating live maggots. The moment Aku realized this, she started vomiting all she had ate. And at that point, the old woman returned home. She was surprised to find Aku, as she did not suspect Aku to be the one responsible for her food theft. Aku knelt down and begged the woman for mercy. After that day, Aku stopped begging people. Instead, she started farming, earning her money and cooking food for herself. And that was the end of Aku's laziness and greediness. The lesson to learn from this story is that we should always be hardworking and we shouldn't take what doesn't belong to us, as in the end we might regret taking something that doesn't belong to us. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel.